Hello, and welcome back to another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. Today, we're going to be looking at the top 10 craziest things that ever happened on a plane. When you're cruising over 40,000 feet up in the air can get a little rarefied, and some really crazy things can happen. For this countdown, the sky really is the limit. Number 10. There's something in the air. You know that phrase, up there where the air is clear? Well, our number 10 entry is a case of the air being anything but. A plane was forced to make an emergency landing in Kansas City in 2014. Was it due to a security risk? A passenger in a critical condition? Engine troubles? No, and no. It turns out that a service dog pooped in the aisle not once, but twice. After all the plane's paper towels were used cleaning up the first mess, there was no way to effectively remove the second, and the smell was so rancid that passengers were beginning to feel physically ill. Number 9. Baggage may move around during flight. A 17-month-old baby got a unique taste of the jet-setting lifestyle when a flight attendant decided to bundle the child into an overhead locker and close the latch. Yes, the attendant was fired by his employer Virgin, and the child's mother received free flights in recompense. But here's an interesting quirk to the story. Virgin noted that while the attendant's actions were undeniably wrong, the attendant was reportedly trying to help the mother's husband play a game of peekaboo with the kid. Hide him in an overhead locker? We guess that's one way to do it. Number 8. Stand up. High up. Flight attendant Marty Cobb was just trying to keep her routine in-flight safety demonstration from getting stale. Little did she know that her unique and hilarious take would see her going viral on the internet.
All of that plastic bag may not inflate. You are receiving lots and lots of gin. Oxygen, that is. And if you're traveling with small children, we're sorry.
Marty went on to trade her newfound fame for appearances on Ellen and the iconic reality show The Amazing Race. Number 7. At your service. You know something crazy must have happened when the billionaire owner of an airline waits hand and foot on the passengers of a rival carrier for an entire flight. Oh, and did we mention he was forced to shave his legs and dress in a tight-fitting air hostess dress? How did Virgin icon Richard Branson get himself into this situation? He lost a bet, of course. He'd gambled with AirAsia's owner, Tony Fernandez, that his Formula One race car team would finish higher than Fernandez's at the Grand Prix. You know, just billionaire air magnate problems. Branson's team lost, and as punishment, he served Fernandez and 250 other passengers for a 13-hour flight to London. Number 6. High spirits. Our number 6 entry is definitely the spookiest on our list, but there's something heartwarming about it too. In the middle of the night on an international flight, an attendant went down into the first-class section and discovered an old man sitting on the stairs. When asked what he was doing and if he was all right, the man responded by apologizing and explaining that he was traveling with his wife who was in a seat in the main cabin, and that she will be worried about him. He wanted the attendant to let her know that he was okay. When the attendant found his wife and told her his message, the woman was shocked. It turns out that her husband was indeed traveling on the flight, but in a coffin in the hold. When the attendant went back to try and find the man, he had disappeared. Number 5. Words with Alec Baldwin. There are a lot of stories of celebrities acting up on flights, but for our money, this is one of our favorites. Popular actor Alec Baldwin earned the ire of staff on an American Airlines flight when he refused to stop playing a game called Words with Friends on his smartphone. The argument got so heated that things came to a head, and Baldwin was kicked off the plane by security. Number 4. The height of romance. One Alaska Airlines pilot went out on a wing and a prayer during one flight, and thankfully for him, it paid off. Eric Greener proposed to his flight attendant girlfriend, Brandy Hollenbeck, on a flight from Seattle to Juneau. Over the in-flight intercom, Greener told the passengers and cabin crew how he and Hollenbeck had met saying, "We hit it off, I got her number, and I met the woman of my dreams at 34,000 feet. So I figured it's time to continue our lives at 34,000 feet." What followed was a marriage proposal that elicited cheers from everyone in the cabin. And no, Eric was not the pilot on this flight, so he wasn't distracted from his duties. Number 3. Runway Runaway. Our number 3 entry brings a little bit of the crazy. As a plane was preparing to take off from JFK International, a woman on board suddenly demanded to be let off. The plane was nearly on the runway, however, and the flight attendants, in line with normal regulations, said they couldn't comply. That's when the woman kicked things up a notch. She went off her trolley, screaming and carrying on. Then she called 911 and said that she was an American being held against her will by a foreign airline. Cue exasperated sighs from all involved. The authorities took the matter seriously, however, and the plane was soon surrounded by police cars and FBI vans. The airplane was grounded and the flight canceled, and a couple of hundred people's plans were ruined. Number 2. The Airing of Grievances. If you're going to quit your job, do it in style. Flight attendant Steven Slater had had enough of demanding passengers, and the plane hadn't even left the tarmac yet. But after 20 years in service, the last straw was one man calling him a mother. His solution? To quit over the intercom, then activate the inflatable slide and jump out the emergency exit. Hey, it's another way to fly by the seat of your pants. Number 1. Little Baby Jetstar. This story doesn't just start crazy, it ends crazy. On board a Jetstar flight from Singapore to Myanmar, a woman had the shock of her life when she went into labor. In a stroke of luck, not one but 3 doctors were on board to guide her through the labor process. Thankfully, the plane managed to make an emergency landing before the baby was safely delivered. A birth on a plane is crazy enough, but here's the kicker. The parents decided to name their newborn Saw Jetstar after the airline carrier. Jetstar themselves were no doubt thrilled with this free advertising opportunity and offered the parents $1,000 worth of baby supplies to help kickstart a long and healthy life for Saw Jetstar. Thanks for watching another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video. And remember, it's our duty to entertain and yours to subscribe.
Hello, my children. This is Jesus here, reaching out to you from above to say you are nearly in my good books and to come join me in my kingdom. But first, you must subscribe to Daily Top 10s, or thou shalt deem you unworthy of my kingdom. So, subscribe now.